Hello, all of you. Here we begin with the fourth class for business restructuring and a host of lot of experience in the last 10-15 minutes. I have never faced such issue with Wi-Fi. I changed my network also, but suddenly maybe because of lot of monkeys and the mango trees around us, so it got spoiled. And then I was not feeling good to tell you all the time that my network is not good, and chalo, let us shift in evening, let us shift in the morning. And thank you so much to my neighbors who said, okay, you take class over here. Okay. But the camera is giving trouble. What happened? So we are taking the class over here right now. Chalo, let us begin. And even my mother-in-law is bedridden, no? So today only she was also troubling. All this I'm not saying to boost myself, dear students. Sometimes I see my final students getting 1% also demotivated. Why you all should? When it happens, no, take 15-20 minutes, but immediately come out of that. And it is everything is in our mind. Every time I'm saying, take help from your mentors, from your friends, and come out of whatever situation you are. Only you can do it. Imagine yourself, dear students, how raw you were when in foundation. Can you look back? Foundation, inter, then at final, how can you doubt yourself? How can you think I'm not doing good, or whatever negativity is going on? Easily, it will take time, either by saying to yourself, or by writing, or by taking action, whatever way suits you. But take a pause. That's the reason might be I'm late today also for the class, because last 15 minutes I've been setting, getting the laptop, the note. Then when I started, calculator is not there, my water bottle, my camera. So it took time. Okay. So make sure that you all are super duper confident and you vibrate at such a high rate, and gratitude should be the part of your daily life. 5 gratitudes of whatever, of the smallest thing which is going on so well and amazing in your life. See, I have these neighbors who just walked in and said, why you are not taking the class at our home? Better come here. I was trying to do it with my mobile data. अरे नहीं चलेगा, वीडियो बंद हो जाएगा, वॉइस क्रैक होगी, आ जाओ. So immediately I shifted, right? So let us now begin with capital restructuring. We have done 3 things until now. First one is lump sale. Then capital gain problem and deemed dividend problem, along with the second concept. What is the second concept we did in this capital restructuring? Yes, problems of liquidation. And yesterday we started. See, business restructuring is a hi-fi name for your chapter called as capital gain. So capital gain mein business restructuring is like whenever there is a change in the organization, what will be the impact on the capital assets which are transferred. So yesterday I'm sharing the screen. I gave you some running notes. I explained you the concept, and we have worked out everything for, yes, can you see on screen? Everything we have worked out for amalgamation and internal reconstruction. Are you all with me? Ye dekho. Huh? So star and moon are amalgamated, or star limited is absorbed by the moon limited. So now if all the conditions of amalgamation are satisfied, then agreed that all the assets of star and moon are transferred to the new company. On this transfer, there won't be any capital gain. All the assets and liabilities are transferred. 75% of the shareholders, they agree for this. And the transferee company, that is the new company, is an Indian company. Okay, right? And amalgamating company is the transferor company. Amalgamated company is the transferee company, new company. Right. Okay. So now what is the tax impact? All the transfer by star and moon to star moon is exempt. The shareholders will get the shares of the new company. I was a shareholder of Star Limited. Now I am the shareholder of the Star Moon Limited, right? Cost, okay. Once I have 1,000 shares in Star, it got amalgamated in Star Moon. I got 1,500 shares. You can get shares in the ratio 2 shares for every 3 held, like that. And now after the transfer, I sold the shares in 22-23. Now, what would be the cost of the shares of SM Limited, cost of the shares for Star Limited? Holding period will start from 14-15, but index benefit will be given from 18-19. That is the date the shares of the new company are born. Is this clear to all of you? And what about the losses? Star Limited had some losses. Moon Limited had some losses. So only losses will be allowed to be carried forward by new company is business loss. Business losses will be carried forward by new company, that too for fresh 8 years. And unabsorbed depreciation can be carried forward. Okay, right. And the way they are asking, we have done question number 2, A, B, C, D, F bit. Is it very easy? I'm doing revision for all of you for yesterday's class. And one suggestion, very small, but I gave to all of you is use 2 different colored pens to write the concepts. When I make you write the booster notes, another color to solve the problems. So one day before exam, all the concepts and flowcharts which I am making you write in your running notebook, if you revise that, all your revision is done. I've seen many teachers making so much of extra videos one day before exam. Please, I feel that's not justified. You all are very smart enough to know what to study one day before exam. That's not the time when you should be watching YouTube. You should know your way out, that what revision you have to do. Because while the classes, we are guiding you for that only. And you can mark yourself, okay, this problem is important. Chalo. Today we are taking the concept of demerger, and then with after the demerger, then we will go for the problems of the demerger also. Okay, right. Demerger concept, we are starting from here. 1 second. Yes. Which file is opened by mistake? What do you mean by demerger? Have you done this concept already in accounts also? What do you mean by demerger? Yes. Here I'm sharing the screen and check. What do you mean by demerger? It is the splitting of the two companies. Okay. Demerger generally has 2 units. So one of the unit is like original company, and it has 2 branches. Okay. Say P and Q. So P unit we are keeping, Q unit we are separating. So when we split the companies, the new company which is forming is called as the resulting company, and the original company which is still there is called as the splitted company or the demerged company. And now what happens? You will get the shares of both the companies. Okay. So to understand this better, pehle ek kaam karte hain. Let us make diagram. Like yesterday we have written running notes and diagrams. Let us do it for demerger also. Okay. So the concept of demerger, it is splitting of companies units. Okay. Suppose A Limited is there. It is having unit P and unit Q. One in Hyderabad and another say in Chennai. Now unit Q is splitted into a separate company. Okay. Demerger is happening, and this unit Q is becoming Q Limited, new company. This company will be called as what? Resulting company. Please respond if my voice and screen and everything is clear or not. Light is little less here, but done. ठीक है, दिख रहा है ना आपको स्क्रीन? So unit Q, demerger, it is Q Limited, a resulting company. All right, thank you. And now A Limited will be called as what? Demerged company. Now listen to this, all of you. Suppose I am a shareholder. My name is DC. So Dipti Chheda is having 100 shares in A Limited. Okay. Now, after demerger, same value, but for same value, I will have shares in A Limited as well as I will have the shares in Q Limited. If you can correlate this with your accounts class where you have studied the journal entries for demerger and all, super cool, good. So clear to all of you, what is happening that you are having shares in A Limited, but now because a part of the A Limited, you know, one unit's all assets and liabilities are transferred to separate company. It is splitted. So now I am having shares in A Limited and also the shares in the Q Limited for the same value. Okay. And then when I sell the shares in A and Q Limited, I will get capital gain. Okay. I means who? Shareholder. Now, in case of demerger, take a pause and tell me, are there some assets? What is the taxability for A Limited and Q Limited? What do you think is going to be the taxability of A Limited and Q Limited? क्या होगा? So the answer is number one is I want all of you to write this, please. You want me to pause and you want to draw this diagram, or if the names are clear, okay, no problem. This is a demerged company. This is a resulting company. Is too much background sound coming because of AC? Then let me know. I'll switch it off. Yeah. Now, what is the taxability? See, if the demerger conditions are satisfied, dear students, then all the transfer of one second, the screen is not moving. Oh, that whole diagram is vanished, what I have drawn. ठीक है चल. All the transfer of assets of A Limited to Q Limited are exempt. All transfer of assets of A Limited to Q Limited are exempt. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Yeah, because what is happening after the demerger? 1 minute, I want to write this again. ठीक है, छोड़ दो. Some trouble is happening. It's not getting shifted now. So all the transfer will be exempt provided they satisfy all the conditions. Now, what are the conditions? Please check. All transfer of assets of Q Limited and A Limited, whatever they are getting being transferred, it is paying a jigsaw puzzle. Provided the conditions are satisfied. And what are the conditions to be satisfied is all the assets and liabilities. A bit. All. Write down. These conditions are asked in exam as theory questions. So I am making you write all the assets and liabilities should be transferred. Are you all with me? Should be transferred at book value. all the assets and liabilities should be transferred at book value. Consideration to be paid by Q Limited. This is a part of the answer I'm making you write here so that we won't write it again. Consideration to be paid by Q Limited. Consideration to be paid by Q Limited in form of shares. Now, how will they decide कि कितने shares देना है? Okay, right. So, for that they are using the formula. Net worth of A Limited. You all know what is net worth? Share capital, equity and preference plus reserve. In short, what is the total capital of A Limited? Okay. And out of that, what is the net assets of Q Limited? जो Q Limited चले गया है, you can write here assets minus liabilities, what they have taken at book value. So how much has gone? So in that proportion, whatever is the cost of acquisition. Please don't try to mug up these formulas. When I solve a problem, it will be very much clear. So suppose A Limited's total capital is 10 lakhs. Out of that, the net assets taken over by Q Limited is 6 lakhs. So 60% has gone. So what is the cost of acquisition of shares, my shares, DC lim, जो shareholder है उसके पास, in A Limited, proportionate shares I'll get in the B Limited. Are you getting what I'm giving you? Total shares in B Limited. You know, it's called as the purchase consideration. So in this proportion, you will get the shares. So for A Limited and Q Limited, there is no liability provided these conditions are satisfied. All the assets and liabilities are satisfied. Condition should, consideration should come in the form of shares. Okay. And the one more very important condition you all should write. Q Limited is nothing but their own unit which they have separated. It should be taken over as going concern. You know, for going concern, everything should be like same. It should go on in the same form. Okay. So this is all about all the points. All the assets and liabilities of A Limited and Q Limited are taken over. Consideration to be paid by Q Limited. And it's all in the form of the going concern. So there is no tax liability for A Limited and Q Limited. Second thing is tax liability for the shareholder. Okay. What is the tax liability for shareholder in case of demerger? Excuse me. Second, dear student. However, we say we know everything. There, every moment we are learning something new. Hannah. Okay. So now we know that we have got the shares of other company also. Now tax liability for the shareholder. In that, when shares of Q Limited are received, as a shareholder, when you receive the shares of Q Limited, is there any tax liability? Answer is no tax liability. No tax liability. कोई भी tax liability नहीं होगा. Now you know how to get the cost of the shares. Now, when shares of Q Limited are sold, when he's selling the shares of Q Limited, cost, now you know how to get it. Indexation will start. Indexation will start from date of demerger. From the date of demerger, the indexation benefit will start. Is this clear to all of you? One problem we do and it will be clear. Any doubt until now? The diagram is clear. Resulting companies taking over 1 units at book value, assets minus liabilities, bye. That many shares you give to these shareholders. So here the value of the shares will reduce. Yes. But when I sell the shares, original shares from the original date indexation will start. But Q Limited shares were born on the date company got splitted. So indexation will start from the date of the demerger. Finish writing all of you, and is everything clear? Right? Chalo, we'll take up the problem so that it is clear. I'll read also. Yeah, please write over here in your textbook. I'm on page number 213 and write down conditions are asked so many times. Conditions. Conditions are asked for 5 marks. Short note. Demerger means transfer pursuant to the scheme of the Companies Act. All the assets and liabilities are transferred. They are transferred at book value, and resulting company issues shares. Common shareholder, shareholding who are not more, less than 75% of the shares here should agree. Okay, we are ready to get the shares of Q also and this also and all. Transfer of undertaking should be going concern basis. The demerger is in accordance with the conditions, if any. And demerged company. What is demerged company? Company whose undertaking is transferred. What is the resulting company? Resulting company means one or more companies which the undertaking of demerged company is transferred, and resulting company in consideration of such transfer issues share to the shareholders of demerged. So the new company which you have splitted and formed is called as which company? Resulting company. Is my speed fine? You all are following? Chalo. Now, undertaking shall include any part of the undertaking, unit, division, whatever way you say, but does not include individual assets or liabilities. The liabilities of referred above shall include liabilities which arise out of active, now this is all are for reading. Ek bar pad lo bas hai. Like you all know, when I'm saying assets and liabilities should transfer, liabilities are outside liabilities. Your debentures, your bank loan, your unsecured loan, your creditors. Okay. So liabilities which are specifically for that unit Q Limited ko de do. Specific liabilities, specific loan. If general borrowings are there, okay, sometimes the company has done general borrowings and unit A and unit Q both are using. Now, how will you split it? Book value of the assets transferred divided by the total book value of the assets, ignoring revaluation. Are you getting? What is the total value of the assets of the whole company? And upper numerator mein, what is the total value of the assets which are bye, demerge, which are transferred? In that ratio, loan also give it to them. It's a very common logic. Any transfer or issue of shares by resulting company in a scheme of demerge to shareholders shall not be treated as transfer. Okay. So we are giving them assets exempt in the capital gain chapter. They are giving us shares. The resulting company is giving shares to the demerged company, exempt. Okay. Cost of acquisition of shares in the resulting company. Okay, it shall be the amount which bears to the cost of acquisition of shares held by SSE in the same proportion as net book value. इसको यहाँ देख लो. Cost of acquisition of original shares into net book value of the assets transferred divided by the net worth of the company before the demerger. What was my total capital and how much has gone. In that proportion, we will get the shares. Net worth means the paid up capital, the free reserves and all. Okay. Cost of acquisition of shares in demerged company. The cost of acquisition of original shares held by shareholder in a demerged company shall be deemed to have been reduced by the amount so arrived. Okay. Right. Cost of acquisition of original shares into the net book value of assets transferred to the resulting company, divide by the net worth of the company immediately before such demerger. Okay. Paid up capital plus general reserves that we all know. Demerged company. Okay. What shares have gone there? That too we are clear. Now, what is the position here? Cost of the acquisition of original shares. Here I had 5 lakh shares. Now I have 2 lakh shares of the new company. So here the shares value will reduce. No? Are you getting? I had, if you want, write down, I had 5 lakh shares of A Limited. Now out of that they have demerged and they gave me 2 lakh shares of Q Limited. So now my shares here are how much? 3 lakh. है ना? Right. Determination of the nature, resulting company. To find whether shares in resulting company are long term or short term, holding period you will take from the original shares, cost you will take from the original, but indexation shall be available from the year in which demerged company shares were acquired. You followed or not? The date the company is demerged, from that date only indexation will be allowed for the new company. What about the original company shares? Indexation will be available for the original shares. Shall we do one problem so that we get everything very clear? I want to take a first fourth problem. वो ज़्यादा in depth और अच्छा है. Third one is exactly like second problem we have done for amalgamation. It is more easy. तो पहले third fourth problem करते हैं. चलो. ठीक है. Roma purchased 600 equity shares in XYP Limited at the rate of 150 on December 22. XYP Limited is demerged and Y division is separated as Y Limited. Are you all with me? I had shares of XY Limited. Now in that Y is getting separated. XY Limited में से Y अलग जा रहा है. So this unit is going. YP Limited in consideration of demerger issued equity shares of 100 each to the shareholders of XYP. Now I am a shareholder of XY. I will have shares of XY also, and if they split, I will get the shares of Y Limited also. Number of shares of Y Limited received by Roma, you have to compute. Cost of acquisition of shares of Roma in original. After the demerger, part has gone. So what is the cost over here for the original? Capital gain if Roma sold 200 shares of the original and here. So that's what you have to calculate. Look at the screen. Is the problem structure clear? Okay, when I'm saying why buy, take all the assets at book value, liabilities at book value, there is a general loan. So this general loan also part will go to Y. In which proportion? What are the total assets? See, take a pause here. आ जाओ इधर, मैंने कुछ formula बताया, ये रहा. Book value of the assets transferred divide the book value of the assets demerged. हाँ, तो ये देखो. Book value of the assets transferred. How much is transferred? Why? Can you do this total and tell me? Very quick answer from you all students. इसका total करके बोलो कितना आ रहा है? 3,50,000, 5,80,000, 590, 430, 630 and 7 lakh. Are you getting? So out of, are you all getting or not? Out of 14 lakhs, 7 lakhs is transferred. So even the loan proportionate to that you transfer. Look at the problem. Some of you are not having the material. So can you take a screenshot of this problem? so that when you revise at home, you're not losing on the data. Fourth problem. ले लो इसका screenshot. चलो. 8 marks problem, and this is already from the scanner. Problem number 4 we are solving. Is my speed fine? Are you all following? Huh? First thing they have asked you is, are you clear or not? XY Limited is called as demerged company. Demerge मतलब ये company split हो गई है. And Y Limited जो Y unit नया है, it is called as the resulting company. Sure? चलो अब साथ में करते हैं. Let us solve the problem. First thing they are asking you is number of shares of Y Limited received by Roma. Okay. So how many shares you will give them? So for that, first I have to calculate the net assets of Y Limited. And for net assets of Y Limited, we will take all the assets and liabilities at book value. Let us take land, 2,50,000, plant, 1 lakh, plant 1 lakh, investment is not there, stock is there, 2,30,000, datas are there, 55,000, cash and bank is there, 75,000. Okay, so total assets transferred are 7 lakh less liabilities. What all liabilities have gone? So one is did I take it wrong? Yeah. Datas are 45,000. Yeah, sure. Screen shifting is giving trouble laptop. I don't know. Chalo, liabilities aa gaya. Loan 75,000. Creditors 40,000. And of course, I said general loan you will transfer in what ratio? 2 lakh into 7 lakh by 14 lakh. Are you all with me? 2 lakh into 7 lakh by 14 lakh. So 1 lakh. Net assets. Seven lakh minus 75,000 minus 45,000 minus 1 lakh. 4,80,000. Okay, right. So the net assets of Y Limited is 4,80,000 and they have issued equity shares of rupees 100 each. No, 100 each they have issued. So how many total number of shares they will issue? 4,800. Take a pause and tell me, is this clear to all of you? So total number of shares issued by Y Limited is 4,800. Now let us read the next part of the question. Number of shares of Y Limited which are received by Roma. Why net assets is coming to 560? Calculate, no? I think it's right. We have all done the calculation, but check karo calculator se. So now how many shares are received by Roma? Okay. So see, total original shares were 6,000. Are you with me on screen? Out of that, Roma got 600 shares, 10%. So in the splitted company also, Roma will get how many shares? Huh? 485 shares, correct? That's what we should know. They said how many shares Roma will get. Check and ask me if you have doubt. These are the total number of the shares issued, dear students. Total number of the shares is 4,800. Now, shares issued to Roma. She had 600 shares in 6,000 shares of XY Limited. Original company, she had 600 shares. That is equal to 10%. So in Y Limited, she will have 4,800 into 10%. That is 480 shares at the rate of 100 each, 4,80,000. Done. This is the answer for number of shares Roma is getting. Now, next question asked is cost of acquisition of shares held by Roma in the original company. Now what we will do? B bit. B bit I will take up. Okay. Original shares कितने थे रोमा के पास? First line of the problem it is given. 600 shares she purchased at 150. Hmm. 600 shares she purchased at 150 in the XY Limited. How much you all are getting? 600 into 150. 90,000 was her share value. Okay. Now in the new company, how much assets have gone net book value? This is the formula what we are using, net book value of the assets which is gone and by the net worth. She has 90,000 shares earlier. And what was the original net assets of the company? See, 1 second. हाँ ये देखो बुक वैल्यू कितना थी ओरिजिनल 10 lakhs. इसमें she got these many shares at market value. So now new company, okay, she's having it for 4,85,000. In that, how much is the cost for her? Proportionate cost you have to minus now. That we will calculate. 600 shares of 150 she purchased 90,000. That time net worth of XY Limited was 6 lakhs plus 4 lakhs, that is equal to 10 lakhs. Now in the new company, that is Y Limited. Y Limited का net assets हमने कहीं निकाला था ना अभी. We calculated. Here it is. I hope you all are getting net assets and net worth are same. Net assets is from asset side, asset minus liabilities, and net worth is from liability side. This you all study in ratios. So 480. In 10 lakhs, she had 90,000 shares. In 480, how much? Cost of shares of Y Limited for Roma. कुछ तो फॉर्मूला के लिए जगह छोड़ दो, बट देर इज नो फॉर्मूला, देर इज प्योरली लॉजिक. In 10 lakh net worth, my share value is 90,000. So in new company, 480 net worth, how much? Proportionate share, no. I am old shareholder of XY Limited. Now I will get shares of Y Limited also. So 90,000 into 480 divide by 10 lakhs. Thoda patience rakho. When I complete the problem, it will be clear. And study material also, you have the same problem. So if they ask in exam for 8 marks, you should be able to do it because bitwise marks are there. Now tell me, is it clear? 43,200? Yes, right. Are you all getting? I had 90,000 value of shares here. Now you can say, ma'am, why did you calculate? Already you got no 48,000 के shares उसको मिलेंगे वहां पे. Okay, that is the 485 shares she is going to get. 10%. But what is the cost of the shares? So cost of the shares in the new company will be 43,200. Now fit this in formula. 90,000 is what? Cost of original shares. Are you getting? I'm writing reverse. This I teach the same in indexation also. Into 4,80,000. What is 4,80,000? Net assets of new company. Divide by 10 lakhs. Net worth of demerged company. Have you finished writing? Write it, please. I want you to do the smart work in the exam. Cross multiply, get your answers, go up and write the formula. Don't try to be overconfident कि हाँ क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई किया आंसर तो आ गया मैम. फॉर्मूला तो लिखना पड़ेगा एग्जाम रिलेटेड मार्क्स लेने के लिए. So leave the gap and write the formula. And now check this formula here. Have you got it correct or not? ये देखो, ये रहा. Cost of the shares in the resulting company Y Limited. Cost of the original shares वही 600 into 150. Net book value of the assets transferred to resulting company. कितना था net book value of the assets आपने जो transfer किया resulting company को? 4,85,000. Divide by the net worth, that is 10 lakhs. आ गया सबको? So this is how you get. And now they are saying what is the cost of demerged shares. So cost of original shares less the cost of the resulting shares, left out is my demerged share. This is my third answer. But until now everything is clear or not? So this is the cost of the shares of Y Limited. Now C bit is, what is same B bit, sorry. What is the cost of shares of Roma in XY after demerger? So write down cost of shares in X Limited after demerger. After demerger. Original cost of acquisition minus the cost of acquisition of Y Limited. What was original? 690,000. अब इसमें नए कंपनी में मुझे कितने शेयर्स मिले? 43,200. Students, dear students, if you take here 4,85,000 gone, that's the value, the share capital value. But my proportion, I to purchased it at market value, no? So now left out is my share value of XY Limited after demerger. It's a little lengthy problem, but worth doing. And when you know my way of teaching, I gave you concept, I'm doing again, I'll revise the whole problem. So it will be very easy. But one thing for this chapter, ma'am, जो problem आपने कराया वो exam में आएगा. I'm not guaranteeing this creativity for other topics, but for this for sure. Okay, we are in the midway of the problem. I want to revise the whole problem. XY Limited is original company. And they have two units, X and Y. Out of that, one unit is split up. Okay, Y Limited. Now, the net assets of the Y Limited, all the assets and liabilities are taken at the book value. General loan is taken proportionate to the total assets used. Okay, And like this, we get the net assets of the new company. New company is issuing the shares at 100 each. So 4,800 shares are issued. And Roma, Roma has got 600 shares in the original company, that is 10% of the total shares. So in the new company also she will get 10% shares. Okay, right. But now I had taken original shares in the XY Limited of 90,000. You can't say out of that 48,000 shares you have got in the new company. Somewhere there is a mistake of 5,000. Can you all check ये total net assets का गलत है सही है? जल्दी से total करो. दीप्ति मैम गलत करते हैं total, आप सब सही करते हो. 7 lakh minus 75,000 minus 40,000 minus 1 lakh. Is it coming to? हाँ, so don't rely on my totals. How much is it coming? No, Monisha, why no, total is coming to 560, it's coming to 4,85,000. Check करो एक बार आपका total. Check no, please, on screen. 4,85,000 it is coming. So number of shares is 4,850 and she will get 10% shares. समझ में आ रहा है आपको हमारी गलती कहाँ हुई है? टोटल में गलती है, सुधारो सब लोग. 485 shares at 4,85,000. Now correct. All right. Now once I know what's the position of the new company Y Limited, what about my original shares? I had 90,000 shares here in 10 lakhs. 90,000 shares I had in the 10 lakh net worth. Market value of the shares. Net worth is the book value. 10 lakh. In that, market value of my shares is 90,000. So book value is like 4,85,000 लेना होगा ना, तो ये भी थोड़ा सा चेंज हो जाएगा. 4,85,000. Change it. ये भी चेंज हो जाएगा. Are you all getting? This will also change. 90,000 into 90,000 into 4,85,000 divide by 10 lakhs. 43,650. Change the answer, please. 43,650. One small mistake and the answer changed. So 43,650 are the shares. 43,650 is the cost of the shares of the new company. So what is the share value here? 46,350. Original shares की value कितनी हो गई? 46,350. Now it is correct. You want me to scroll up? Monisha, did you get the answer correct now, dear? Net assets is 4,85,000. I know we are going little slower because new place, new chair. For me also, that I'm not having my normal speed. But I hope the things are clear and it's a quality good problem. Chalo. Now the last part. If Roma, read the question. अच्छा वाला bit है ये. Capital gain calculate करेंगे अब. Now we know what are the number of the shares of the Y Limited. Yes. Cost of acquisition of shares of Roma in XY after demerger. Yes. Roma has sold 200 shares original and 100 shares there. Okay. So can you calculate the capital gain? Yes. Proportionate cost and then the indexation and all. So let us begin. Computation of income of Roma for the shares sold. Particulars and 2 column. First, she has sold the shares of XY Limited. तो ओरिजिनल कंपनी के शेयर्स सेल किए ना. तो कितने हैं ओरिजिनल कंपनी के शेयर्स? How many? What is the sale consideration? First, let us start with that. And we'll do it for one company at a time. This pen is blotting, literally. How many shares she has sold? 200 shares at 125. So what is the total sale consideration? 25,000. Are there any index cost of expenses? No. So then we can take the cost of the acquisition. Cost of acquisition. How many shares were there after the splitting? Share value of XY Limited कितना हो गया? ये रहा. Can you see here? ये रहा. $46,350. $46,350 is the cost of 600 shares. Are you all with me? ये 46,350 के shares है ना हमारे पास 600 shares. Out of that 200 shares we have sold. So what is the cost of 200 shares? Can you get the cost of 200 shares? 46. What happened? I don't know. The pen is not working. Maybe some space I need to change. 46,350 into 200. Faster than me. Tell me the answers. What happened to all of you? Yes, very good. Kusumpriya, are you there in the class? All of you should answer. Thank you. Thank you. 15,450. Something is wrong with the touch screen today. ठीक है. So these many shares. And she has purchased on 1st April. Shall we do indexation? My question to all of you, shall we do indexation? Yes or no? If yes, why? If no, why? No. Because when did she buy the shares? On 1st April 2022. So no need of doing the indexation. So you have got the short-term capital gain. कितना आ रहा है देखो? 25,000 minus 15,400. Problem is not huge. My speed is little less today. So, but it's very easy. Shares of, can we do together very fast? Shares of Y Limited. Okay. How many shares of Y Limited you have sold? 100 shares at 110. So it is 11,000. And what is the cost of the shares in the new company? Look at the screen. Cost of the shares in the Y Limited, 43,650. वो तो बुक वैल्यू है 48,500, बट कॉस्ट क्या है 43 650. I think one cell close the screen 1 minute. Huh? Forty-three 650 is the cost of how many shares you got over there in the new company? 485. बड़ा याद आ रहा है मुझे मेरा मार्कर, उससे तो हम जल्दी लिख लेते हैं. How many shares are sold? 100 divided by 485. Yes. So 43 650 is the cost of 485 shares into 100 shares are sold. For how much? 9,000. So what is the capital gain? 2,000 over 8 marks problem. Check for yourself. थोड़ा demerger का concept अच्छा है, but some formulas and all are there. So we took time. Check it. One more concept we will take. Tomorrow also we are doing the same thing. Yes. I want message from each one of you all. Clear or not? Okay. Easy this is. Only doubt I feel is why we are not taking the cost as 4 lakh 48,500, because 48,500 is the net worth, or you can say share capital in the new company. But when I have purchased 90,000 shares, and that time the net worth of was 10 lakh. So new company's net worth is 485. So what is my proportionate cost? 43,650. And share value of XY Limited is 46,350. ठीक है, balance. And proportionate shares, whenever they will sell, they will calculate the capital gain like this. Okay. So this is an in-depth question. We always do the tough thing first. Now let us do it simple. Okay, take a pause, and can you all please revise this table? Mark it very important in the material where I have given. What is the cost of the shares in the new company Y Limited? Cost of original shares multiplied by book value of the resulting company divided by net worth of the this first company, 10 lakh. And what is the demerged company shares? Cost of original shares minus the cost of the shares of the resulting company, you get the shares of the demerged company. Now, determination of the nature of the asset, resulting company. Long term or short term, that will decide by original shares. Indexation for the resulting company will start from the date of demerger, from the original company, from the original value. Okay, right. Let us do the third problem now. Dare Limited, a domestic company having two undertakings engaged in manufacturing, and they have a division RSA Private Limited, a domestic Indian company. This is also a past exam problem from Scanner. The net book value of the Dare P Limited was 40 crores. The net book value of the asset transferred is 10 crores. 10 crores have gone by. Yeah. The demerger was made in January 2023 करो इसी साल January 2023. In the scheme of demerger, it was fixed that for each equity share of this company, you will get the 2 equity shares in the new company. Yeah. So for 1 equity share, you are getting 2 equity shares. Now one Mr. KT is having 25,000 equity shares here. So definitely over there he'll get 50,000 equity shares, and he has acquired it in 4 and 5. KT received 50,000 equity shares for the new company, 1:2 ratio. Consequent to demerger, he sold all the shares of the new company for 8 lakh. Who? KT. Will he have to pay the capital gain? Answer is yes. In this background, you are requested to answer the following. Does the transaction of demerger attract any income tax liability in the hands of the DRP Limited and RSA? D Limited is the original company, RSA is the new company. क्या इनको कोई anything, will they get affected? Answer is no. No capital gain liability will come. What are the conditions? All the assets and liabilities should be transferred. They should be transferred at book value. Business should be taken over as going concern. 75% shareholder should agree for the demerger scheme, and so on. Compute the capital gain that would arise in the hands of the KT on receipt of the shares. No. When KT has got the shares, that time there won't be any capital gain. But yeah, when KT has sold the shares, all 50,000, will there be capital gain? Yes. Is Mr. KT eligible to avail any tax exemption? Yes. For capital gain, if you get on transfer of the shares, you can buy residential house and kuch bhi becho, ghar lo. Yesterday only I have put a gist revision videos of all the exemptions in YouTube. It's just a 1.5 hour video. Watch that so that these kind of questions you are able to answer. Anything if you sell and if you buy a house, you can avail 54F exemption, or you can avail 54EE. Olden books or scanner, if anyone is using 54EC was there, but now 54EC, you can buy NHAI REC bonds only in case when you are transferring land and building, but not here. So is the question clear to all of you? See, dear students, third question or fourth question में फर्क दिख रहा है. Fourth was the very in depth. It was like accounts class, journal entries and purchase consideration और amalgamation में कैसे calculate करते थे. That's the way you have to do. ठीक है? चलो. Let us do question number 3 in the notebook. Okay, wherever my pen is not working today, I don't know what happened. This screen and also have cleared. But if it is so, then I'm dictating. You can write down the answer. First one, does the transaction of demerger attract income tax liability? A bit. Demerger does not attract any liability for D Limited. I'm just writing D Limited and R Limited. Now in B bit, they have asked you what are the conditions to be satisfied. So we'll write the conditions. Conditions to be satisfied. Number 1, all, please write down again, all assets and liabilities are transferred. Such a horrible writing is coming today. I don't know what happened to this grip and the screen. All the assets and liabilities are transferred. Second is assets and liabilities are transferred at book value. Third is going concern. Going concern. The unit must be taken in the form of going concern. 75% shareholders should agree for your demerger का scheme. ठीक है? So if all these conditions are satisfied, there won't be any tax. Now the third one. Compute the capital gain that could arise in the hands of Mr. KT on the sale of the shares of RSA Private Limited. Capital gain. That could arise in the hands of the KT on the sale. No, the C bit is when he receives the shares. KT, shareholder. No capital gain when shares are received. आपको बात समझ में आ रही है? जब आपको शेयर्स मिलेंगे that time तो no capital gain. Now D bit. Compute the capital gain on sale of shares. So yes, this you have to calculate. Sale of shares of the new company. Say R Limited. R Limited के shares आपने सेल किए हैं. कितने में सेल किए हैं? 8 lakh. It's given in the last line of the second para that he sold the shares for 8 lakh. Less. Write down please. Less. Cost of acquisition. 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs तो ओरिजिनल शेयर्स थे into 10 crore divided by 40 crore. Are you all with me? If you want, you can write the formula. Original shares into net assets of new company divide by net worth of original company. Original 40 करोड़ में से 6 लाख के शेयर मेरे पास थे. So 10 crore has gone. Bye bye. This 10 crore in the Roma's problem, we calculated the figure. Here they have given you ready. So what is the cost of the shares? 6 crores. 1 lakh, 6 crores, 6 lakhs. So 1,50,000 shares. And when did I buy the shares? In 2004 and 5. Original shares were purchased. But यहाँ पे indexation कहाँ से शुरू होगा for the new company? Indexation will not start from 4 and 5. Sorry. Indexation will start from the date of the demerger. Yeah. He got 50,000 equity shares in the new company, but the cost of the shares is 1,50,000. Yeah. So if we have written that if the demerger is happening in 20 to 23 and indexation will be available in the shares of the demerged company. Two, three books are giving different figures. 1 minute. Indexation benefit will be available from the year in which the shares in the demerged company were acquired. So they are giving the indexation from the original shares only because this is a part of the original shares. Okay, so now we can tick yes, original shares are acquired in 2004 and 5. That time what is the indexation? This is the formula for this. Now I'm calculating index cost of acquisition. 4 and 5 के लिए देखो कितना है. Can we calculate what are the index rates for 4 and 5? I have given you one table on page number 130. And right now it is 331, 22 and 23 when you have sold the shares. So 113 has become 331, 150 has become how much? 150 into 331 divided by 113. 150 into 331 divided by 113. 439, 381. This is the index cost of acquisition and you will get the long-term capital gain. 3,60,619. Done. Followed all of you? Why we are allowing this time indexation also? Finished writing? One more bit and I will explain again for the indexation part. One more bit is there. Let us complete answering. Will the sale of the shares of KT affect the tax benefit of the two companies? No tax liability for two companies. उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. And last F bit. KT, can they avail any exemption? Yes. Section 54F exemption can be availed by KT. I didn't even change the name. This is Scanner's problem. I took it as it is. KT. KT can avail 54 exemption by purchase of residential house. Purchase of residential house. Now for indexation, is the answer clear to all of you? Simple answer. There's a demerger, but both the companies don't have to pay any tax provided the conditions are satisfied. And when the shareholder is getting the shares of the resulting company, no tax. But when shares of resulting companies are sold, you are getting the indexation from the original and there is no tax liability. Okay, here also, you know, losses can be carried forward for fresh 8 years. Nahi hai. Here it is for the remaining 8 years. Write down very important note. Note, ये problem खत्म हो गया, just a general note. If there are losses, I'll do one problem also for this, related to resulting unit. Are you getting? I have transferred one unit to you. Usse related losses, you can carry forward the business loss for remaining years. This time not for fresh 8 years as in case of amalgamation. Only remaining years. And unabsorbed depreciation for indefinite period. That we all know. उसको तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Indefinite years. That's all. Please ask me any doubt if you have. Otherwise, I'm changing the screen and we can read some more part. 10 minutes more and we'll close. Some of you have missed the first class, second class, you know, watch the videos in the app and complete it so that you have a good grip. This is like for CA students, this is same topic called as capital gain. Nice, no? Demerger was little lengthy. So we took time, but I hope it is clear. अब देखो, आ जाओ यहाँ पे. ये देखो. Indexation. Resulting company indexation shall be available from the year in which shares in the demerged company were acquired by the SSE. So demerged company में तो you original shares कब acquire किए थे वहां से indexation मिलेगा. Index and for demerged company indexation will be available from the year in which original shares in the demerged company were acquired. Okay. So in both the cases, you will get the indexation benefit from the original. Okay. Right. Now see, there's a one problem. In fact, I'm just guessing that these kind of the problems can come in exam for 3 to 4 marks. I'm taking it right now and it's very easy. It's related to the set off of the losses. ये देखो screen पे. In case of demerger, the accumulated business loss, other than speculation to ignore kar do, and the allowance of unabsorbed depreciation of demerged company shall, where such loss or unabsorbed depreciation is directly related to the undertaking transferred, be allowed to be carried forward and set off in the hands of the resulting company. Are you getting? I have XY limited. अब इसमें से Y limited जा रहा है. तो if these losses are directly attributable to the unit of Y limited by Y, take the losses also. Okay, for remaining years. यहाँ पे नहीं लिखा है तो आप लिख दो add over here for remaining years, not for fresh 8 years, remaining years. Now, where loss or unabsorbed depreciation is not directly related to the undertaking transferred, you know, loss is common. It's not only for Y limited. It will be a portion between the demerged company and the resulting company in the same proportion in which assets of undertakings have been retained by demerged company and resulting company, and किस proportion में, in which assets of undertakings have been retained. You know how we have split the general loan and transferred to resulting company, and it can be allowed to be carried forward and set off in the hands of demerged company or resulting company as the case may be. Central government may, for the purpose of this, give necessary to ensure that demerger is for genuine purpose. चलो ये अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है, आ सकता है एग्जाम में, इसको करते हैं. Yes. XY Limited, a pharmaceutical company, having accumulated losses and unabsorbed depreciation to be set off for 130 lakhs or 250 lakhs. Okay. As on 31st March 21, and the firm was demerged on 16/5/22. Okay. And 30% of total assets were transferred to the resulting company. 30% assets gaye. You know that net worth we said 6 lakhs out of total 10 lakhs वैसे. Okay. How shall the accumulated losses and absorbed depreciation? What is the accumulated losses? 130 lakhs. What is unabsorbed depreciation? 250. It will be dealt with by the return where the same are not directly related. See, if it is not directly related, then take it proportionately. Okay. And when they are directly related to undertaking, full losses unko dump kar do. Are you clear? And if they are not directly related, then how much assets are transferred? 30%. Out of total assets, how much assets are transferred? 30%. So that much losses also you can transfer to the other company so that they can take this benefit for the remaining years. Okay. So it's a very simple problem. Let us do it in the notebook. Fifth problem. Problem number 5. In that option 1, when losses are directly related to new undertaking, जो आपने नया कंपनी फॉर्म किया ना उससे रिलेटेड है, और अंडरटेकिंग ट्रांसफर्ड, देन बिजनेस लॉस कितना है? बिजनेस लॉस 130 lakhs transferred, they can do the set off, and unabsorbed depreciation. Unabsorbed depreciation कितना है? 250 lakhs. This is also transferred to new undertaking. To new undertaking. यहाँ पे clearly लिखो dear students, for remaining years they can set off this. Are you all getting the meaning for remaining years? What is the meaning? Like already 5 years are over since I'm carrying forward this loss. Then I can set off and use it for the remaining 3 years. Okay. Second one. If the losses are not directly, I think I did reverse. They have given first not directly related. Not directly related. तब क्या करोगे? Proportionate losses carry forward. Proportionate losses carry forward. You know how the proportionate losses are carried forward? By the two companies. Original is X Limited. आज हम लोग एकदम आराम से पढ़ रहे हैं ना, patiently. XY Limited. So business loss. कितना है business loss? 130 and everything is in lakhs. ऊपर ही लिख दो. So 130 का 70%. Keep it here only. 91 lakhs. And remaining, bye-bye. Go to the new company. Same way, unabsorbed depreciation. 250 lakhs into 70%. 175. And here it is 75. चलें साथ में? हो गया. If it is directly yours, take it. If it is not yours, let us share it proportionately. Ma'am, how did you get 70% and 30%? They gave in the problem that 30% of the total assets are transferred. Like in the last problem, 7 lakhs of total assets was transferred. Okay. Chalo, aaja. And in between some more information is there. This, will you read it at home? We have done these two problems. I read all this. ये जो भी theory part है, ये conditions important है. यहाँ से हमने आज class शुरू किया था. Formulas, this table we should know. Problems we have solved. This is a repetition now. If there is any transfer and demerger and it is not treated as transfer. Same applies for the foreign companies also. If 3/4 of the shareholders agree. And what will be the actual cost of the asset? Provided the resulting company should be Indian company. Depreciation same. Split it into the number of days ke hisab se. Carry forward of losses I have explained. Now other expenditures. Deductions of now something what I'm teaching right now coming 5 minutes is related to your business head. You know amalgamation related and demerger expenses, if they are incurred exclusively, then 1/5 are allowed for 5 years. Scientific research, 100% expenditure it will apply. It will be applied to the amalgamating company if the later has not transferred the asset. License, license is taken for 10 years. So 3 years are over and now license also I gave to other undertaking. So remaining 7 years, they would apportion it. Simple logic. Preliminary expenses, section 35D, 1/5 is allowed, 5% of the cost of capital employed or 5% of the cost of project, whichever is higher. So 1/5 I was allowing say of 5 lakh. 2 lakh मैंने allow किया. अब ना ये unity transfer हो गया related to which this preliminary expenses. So remaining 3 lakhs, 1 lakh will be apportioned in the new undertaking. Same for the VRS expenses. 1/5 is allowed. Okay. Slum sale we have finished. One small part I want to take up now for ये सब कल करेंगे. Conversion part. Yeah. One second. So we have completed amalgamation, we have completed demerger. Now, if there is a conversion of a proprietorship into partnership, conversion of private company into the unlisted company, how it will be, let us read that. Shall we do this? At least the theory part we can start with, so that we can take little more extra tomorrow and complete this part. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'll take morning class. If there's any change, I'll message. Conversion of a private company into LLP. You know, this is too much there. In Inter also, you had this as a theory question. Ki private companies are becoming defunct and they have lot of formalities of ROC. So when this new concept started, limited liability partnership, it has got the best features of the private company and the partnership firm. Many of the private companies, they got converted into LLP. So now private company, if it is getting converted into LLP, all the assets and liabilities of the private company will become assets and liabilities of LLP, and this transfer is exempt. I will say this orally. It's very simple. This transfer, ये जो private company है ना, ये LLP में convert हो गया. तो पूरे assets and liabilities यहाँ आ गए. We do this in the accounts class also. When partnership firm is converted into company, all the partners will become directors, like that. So here, private companies converted into LLP. All the private company directors will become partners in LLP in the same proportion in which they held shares in the private company. Private company में 3 directors were there. They were holding shares in the ratio of 2:3:5. So in same ratio, they will get the capital. All the reserves will also come here. All the what do you call as shareholders of the private company, the directors will continue and become the partners, and at least for the coming 5 years 50% of the old directors will continue as a partner. When the directors become partners, they should not get any other benefit except the share in the partnership firm, LLP. Are you getting? You know, you can't say private company, you have these reserves. ये reserve बांट लो सब directors, फिर हम convert करते हैं. No. As it is, the private company is converted into LLP. Reserves here are reserves of the partners. Partners will not get any benefit except the capital. Okay. If these conditions are satisfied, then even though assets are transferred by a private company to LLP, everything is exempt. Ma'am, now the all conditions are satisfied. After 2 years, all the old directors which were partners, they all left. और 50% से नीचे हो गया. 5 years तक 50% should be same. अब उससे नीचे हो गया. तब क्या करेंगे? Now, that time, whatever you have transferred the assets, what is the fair market value? What is the book value? Difference is capital gain, pay the tax. The day I transferred my land, market value was 8 lakh, but I transferred at book value 2 lakh and I didn't pay any capital gain because I satisfied condition. अब 6 lakh पे capital gain लगेगा. Clear to all of you? So that's a very simple problem. I'll share one problem and related answer if you can. I'm not taking the problem now, just the concept, so that when I start tomorrow, we can do it at little faster pace. ये देखो. Transactions not regarded as transfer for the purpose of the capital gain. It's very simple. Some students tell me, ma'am, थोड़ा technical है, छोड़ दे. बिल्कुल नहीं छोड़ना है. अभी पढ़ो और orally लिख पाओगे आप exam में, for sure. Capital assets by a private company are converted into LLP. Shares held in company as a result of conversion of the company into LLP. This all transfer will be exempt subject to these conditions. All the assets and liabilities will be transferred. All the shareholders of the company before conversion became the partners, and the PSR in LLP are same as their capital. जितने यहाँ पे शेयर कैपिटल था उतना ही वहां पे PSR मिलेगा. PSR in LLP is in the same proportion as their capital. The shareholders of the company do not receive any consideration or benefit other than by way of share in the profit and capital contribution in the LLP. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? the shareholder of the company do not receive any consideration or the benefit other than by way of the share. Aggregate of the PSR of the shareholders of company in LLP should not be less than 50% at any time during 5 years. Aggregate of the PSR of these shareholders. Can we have new partners? Yes. I want to give one example for this. इसके लिए ना I have ठीक है, देखो एक एग्जाम्पल लिखते हैं इसके लिए. Let us say shareholders A, B, C. इनके पास शेयर्स हैं कंपनी के, दे आर डायरेक्टर्स. शेयर होल्डर्स 2 लाख, 3 लाख, 5 लाख, तो टोटल कितना हो गया 10 लाख. ओके, नाउ इन द न्यू LLP और 2 पार्टनर्स ऐड हो गए, E और F. अब E का शेयर है 1 लाख, F का शेयर भी है 1 लाख. सो टोटल कितना हो गया 12 लाख. आर यू ऑल विथ मी? 12 lakh. 12 lakh का 50%. Can you do 12 lakh का 50%? 6 lakhs. So at least 6 lakhs should be there with the old. तो अभी तो 10 lakhs is with the old and 2 lakh is with the new. So are they satisfying the condition? Yes. Like that you have to check it for 5 years. Take your time, write this example. They can frame an in-depth MCQ and ask on this. Write it, and if you have any ifs and buts also ask me. Tomorrow I will not explain these conditions. I will directly start with the problem. So, you know, ABC, they are having shares of 2 lakhs. That will same be their capital. Are you getting? They will get the same PSR. अब उनका PSR ही इस रेशो में 2:3:5 10 और 2 ऐड हो गए 1:1 रेशो करके. So now the total PSR में at least 50% PSR तो इनका है ना. It will contain total sales or gross receipts. Yeah. See, aggregate of the PSR. How do they get PSR in the LLP? In the ratio in which they had shares in the private company. तो shares in the private company were 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh. तो नए कंपनी में उनका PSR क्या होगा 2:3:5 हो गया total 10. अब 2 new partners are added. You can write here new partner ENF 1:1. तो अब तो 12 हो गया ना PSR. But out of the 12 total profit sharing ratio, 50% should be with the old one. So 50% means 6. So they have 10 ratio. 10 is above 6, no? So this should continue for 5 years. Old shareholders should share 50% profit of the LLP. Just, I want to repeat. Old shareholders should share 50% of the PSR in the new LLP for 5 years altogether. ठीक है? Total sales, turnover or gross receipts in the company in 3 years preceding the previous year in which conversion took place does not exceed 60 lakh. Now this is rubbish. You know, today's minimum turnover of the private company will be in crores of rupees. छोटे-छोटे businesses के हो जाते हैं. तो private company, if they want exemption, last 3 years, preceding years, every year's turnover should not exceed 60 lakhs. Total value of assets as appearing in the books of company in any of the 3 preceding previous year before the conversion should not exceed 5 crores. Last 3 years में कोई भी years में assets की value 5 crore से ज्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए. Turnover जो है वो 60 lakh से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. No amount is paid to any partner out of the balance of accumulated profits on the date of conversion for a period of 3 years. I said 3 years. You can write here, keep the reserves intact. You can't say to shareholder, okay, reserves घर ले जाओ, capital को हम LLP में ले लेते हैं. No, everything should be intact. These conditions are little very rigid. All assets should be transferred, ठीक है. All shareholders will become partner, ठीक है. All the shareholders should continue, ठीक है. If new shareholders are coming, old shares should be 50% in the PSR for 5 years, okay. Last 3 years, our turnover should not exceed 60 lakhs. Our last 3 years, nowhere the value of the asset should exceed 5 crores. Clear? Right. So this is all about it. On violating of aforesaid conditions, okay, or the shareholders shall be withdrawn and the amount of profit, see what will happen on violation of condition. Exemption earlier allowed to company. On company, you transferred assets at market value, but we to allowed book value. We didn't put any capital gain because you satisfied all commission. अब company को पूरा tax लगेगा. Or shareholder shall be withdrawn an amount of profits and gains from transfer of capital asset or shares not charged earlier shall be deemed to be the profits chargeable to the successor. कंपनी अब आपको टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा, बट मैम कंपनी कहाँ है? कंपनी इज तो क्लोज्ड एंड LLP is formed. So LLP should pay the tax on behalf of company. In the coming 5 years, if any conditions are broken by the LLP will have to pay the tax on behalf of company because company तो खत्म हो गई. Withdrawal of the exemption. Benefit available shall be treated as deemed income. Year of taxability जिस year में violation हुआ है. Who will be liable to tax? For exemption available to company, successor LLP. For exemption available to shareholder, shareholder को खुद को tax देना पड़ेगा. Benefit of indexation available up to year when succession took place. See, succession took place in 2018 and they violated the condition in the 4th year, 22. And now everything is becoming taxable. Pura capital gain lag raha hai 22 mein. Still indexation will only be till 2018. That is the year of conversion. Clear or not? Indexation will only be this is all you have studied in inter. So many times, take a pause. ये सब ना GK है. This should flow in exam. I have seen students clearing final exam on basis of their analytical skill, even if you have not studied. Listen, suppose my property is compulsory acquired for metro work in 2018 by government. पैसे तो कुछ दिए नहीं. They gave me the money in 22-23. When will I pay the capital gain? पैसे तो आए. Once the sale consideration comes, I'll pay capital gain. On compulsory property acquired by government in 2018, I am paying the capital gain in 22-23. But indexation till what date, dear students? 2018. Clear or not? Because that's the date of transfer. It's very easy it is. And allocation of depreciation and all the same number of days use this point. Number of days is there for everything. Amalgamation, demerger, conversion of proprietorship into company, private company, सबके लिए same है. Carry forward of the losses on conversion of LLP. Where a private company or unlisted company succeeded by LLP, then accumulated losses and unabsorbed predecessor shall be deemed to be losses or allowances for depreciation of successor for the purpose of previous year in which, and this is for fresh 8 years, not for remaining years, fresh 8 years. कौन से losses? Accumulated losses or unabsorbed depreciation to indefinite period. If they don't satisfy any conditions, did you follow the concept? 12th problem is very nice. If they don't follow the condition, what will happen? I'll do it tomorrow. 10 minutes it will take. And tomorrow, I think preferably we will complete this chapter. I think it will be the 5th class now. We started business restructuring on Thursday. Friday, I could not take the class because of internet. I don't know, this is a new issue. ठीक है, इसको भी डील करेंगे. दो इंटरनेट लेके रखेंगे, एक बंद तो एक तो चालू रहे. I don't know how people who are working from home must be doing if there are these. And these kind of networks, Beam and all, no one is answerable. You have everything in app. So we keep on complaining in the app and there's no response. Chalo, all okay. Thank you so much for wonderful cooperation in today's class, which was like a tortoise speed. I hope you all followed everything. Demerger, बहुत chances हैं आने के, and literally you can message me. Last exam, January 23 exam, they have asked lump say. So this time either amalgamation and demerger, and take a pause. Concepts are new. Concepts are time consuming for demerger. But if you look at your answer sheet, one-liner answers we have written, 1 mark, no tax liability for the company. Yes. What is the cost of the shares in the resulting company? 2 marks. So bitwise marks make it very scoring. Income tax is vast, but everywhere the stepwise marks helps you to score super marks and clear. You all will clear your exam in the upcoming exam, provided you promise. As much efforts I am taking, you are also taking to watch inter-revision videos. Message me today in the group, ma'am, I have completed watching capital gain revision video. Okay, and the homework is revise the classwork. Okay, we will continue the class tomorrow. Acha, in the notes I have read somewhere like I have given you a lot of theory in my printed material. So please put R for reading, and where it is overlapping, skip it. एक बार बस पढ़ना है to have idea, and my notebook notes are important. That's all for today. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. See you all tomorrow in the morning. Not here at my home, but this is also good. Thank you. Bye, all of you.